Hey guys, it's Christy from Hot Pink University, and welcome to week 2 of the Summer of Loving Me. And I'm sitting in one of my favorite spots in my home, which is right in the corner of my bedroom, overlooking the front of my home, and I can just see a little sliver of the lake that's right outside. And then from there, not so much in the lush summertime, but in the wintertime I can see our state capitol. So it's just a beautiful space to be connecting with you all today. And I'm hoping that you're loving the Summer of Loving Me series. This is week 2, and it's all about daily rituals of self-love. And I'm going to be sharing with you 2 of my favorite daily rituals, and also sharing with you a little bit of secrets into your waking and sleeping states that unless you read research and journals on sleep, you don't really have this information. So I hope you stay tuned and really gift yourself these 2 rituals. I promise we will be under 10 minutes for sure today. And so what are rituals and why are they important? Rituals are things that are repetitive in nature. They connect us with the ability to self-reflect. And if we remember last week when we talked about compassion, connection with self was one of the first steps in having self-compassion. So these rituals really enhance all the work that you were doing last week on how you were talking and speaking with yourself. They also connect us to spirit, higher power, energy, whatever you want to call it for you. They connect through the ritual practice of what you're doing. And eventually your body, almost like playing a guitar for some of our rituals, starts having motor memory, almost like when you were learning how to drive a car, right? And you had to know all the little steps to it, but then eventually you just kind of get in, you take your route to work, and you know where you're going, and you don't have to think hand on wheel, turn left here. It's just all motor memory. And that's what rituals really do. They put us in a state of flow in our minds so that we can connect with something higher, so that we can really be connecting with a part of our brain that gets us into a different state of being. And so one of the morning rituals that I want to connect you with in your reading in the newsletter up above, you'll see that there's certain key elements to this one. And really, it's a purposeful intention setting. It sets the tone for the day. It gets you out of autopilot. It connects you with your true intentions for the day. It focuses you. It connects you to what you're aiming for in life. And before our feet will hit the floor, this is the ritual that I want you to do. And it's where you put your hand on your heart. And for some women out there, they also like to put their hand on their yoni, their pilot light, their girl parts, their vagina, to really connect, get that energy flowing from top to bottom. You can do that if you're comfortable with that. And so this ritual is really about taking in a couple deep breaths just as you're waking, even before you've opened your eyes and you're just maybe starting to recognize. I don't wake up with an alarm unless I have to be somewhere really early, before 7, or I have to be catching something like a flight. Then I definitely set an alarm, but I really let my body naturally wake myself up. I wake up between 6 and 6:30 most days that way, just by naturally tuning into my body and telling myself, when do I want to get up tomorrow before I go to bed? It takes practice, but it's actually a ritual my husband taught me. I'm like, you never use an alarm. I don't have to. I tell myself what time I want to get up. So it does work if you really connect to that. There's very seldom that I sleep in to the point where I'm running late. Sleeping in would be maybe 6:45. Anyway, I digress. So you put your hand on your heart center, take in a couple deep breaths, and you ask yourself, what are 3 feelings that I want to produce for myself today? because feelings are created out of our beliefs and our thoughts, right? They don't come out of nowhere. They're not beamed from above, from some alien starship. They are created in our bodies, and they're created through the process of interacting with our world. And so what kinds of feelings do you want to have today? Do you want to feel joy? Do you want to feel connected? Oftentimes, the feeling that I desire is something like, I want to be at peace, or I want to get excited today. If I'm speaking at a big event, then I want to build my excitement and not feel overwhelming nervous, but feel overwhelming excitement, right? And so before your feet hit the floor, pace yourself on those 3 feelings. Just say them out loud. And then also 3 gratitudes that you're having for your day, beginning of your day. And then when you feel at peace and ready with that and really solidifying that, then your feet can swing out of bed and hit the floor. But I want you to try that for this week and really feel into that and what that does for you and what you create for yourself that day, because we all have this ability to create, and it's powerful. And a lot of things can happen to us, but when we set our intention, they're really happening for us, and we're noticing. So that's the morning ritual. The nighttime ritual is, I want you to think of nighttime bedtime routines like this. The 45 minutes to 60 minutes before you go to bed, whatever you're doing in that period of time will get repeated 4 to 5 times during the night. 4 to 5 times. Because that's how many sleep cycles we have. And in our sleep cycles, we have various stages in them. And the last stage that we really get to is our REM stage. And so each of our sleep cycles, they last about an hour and a half. And sometimes longer, sometimes shorter for people. And so you'll notice yourself like, oh, I remember like 2 to 3 dreams from my night, or I had that dream repeatedly, or it grew throughout the night. And that is because those are our natural ebb and flow rhythms that we move throughout the night. And so if you think about that, if the last 45 minutes matters the most, are you on screens? Are you watching TV? Are you surfing Facebook, YouTube, all those things that kind of deflect our reality? Or are you reading some powerful material? And down below, you're going to see my list of powerful reads that I want you to be focusing on in your own life this month. They're really powerful, and they've made massive differences in my life, including our own book, Ignite Your Life, right? Get that one. But those are my favorite ones. And keep a notebook next to your bed. That was the other prompt that is up above in our key elements to this. Keep a notebook. Some of the greatest musicians of our time, artists of our time, have created an entire song or sequence during those ebb and flows. I often will wake up at 3 or 4 in the morning. That's like right before my last cycle that I'm moving through. And I'll be like, oh my God, that's a whole chapter in a book. Most of our Ignite Your Life, that the pieces I was responsible for, a vast majority of them were written during this amazing creative state. And a lot of people get frustrated with that because they say, I have insomnia. And yes, that's insomnia is a real thing. I'm not poo-pooing that at all. But what if that was your creative state? What if you could turn that into your creative state? Your sympathetic nervous system is not completely activated, so we don't have a lot of blocks and barriers happening for us, and we're really in a state of flow. And this can be really, really powerful to you creatives out there. So those are the things, if you want to increase love, self-compassion in your life for yourself, these are the 2 daily rituals. I have many, many, many more. But these are the 2 daily rituals that I really want our whole tribe to be focusing on. And I want to hear what you have to say. I want to hear you on our private Firestarters page. I want to hear you on our public business Hot Pink University page. Send us a message. I would love to hear how these 2 rituals played out over the last week in your life and what a difference they made. And we are out of time. So enjoy, and I hope you are having a summer of loving you.